That was a close call. July 29th, Shangrao City in the southeast of China. An unnamed excavator operator was instructed to take a small building down. He was pretty successful in demolishing the house, but he should have reviewed his basics about gravity. As you might have noticed, House Wrecker is good at what he does. He just completely misjudged the direction in which the building would collapse. Miraculously, no one was injured, not even him. He just made a big mess and probably got fired for smashing a machine worth several $100,000. The video went viral in China, reaching nearly 5 million views in less than 2 days. Netizens left comments advising the operator to start studying physics. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't feel so safe with this guy wrecking stuff in my neighborhood. Still alive? Keep watching.
Boiler demolition dust storm blinds highway drivers. In Linkou to the west of Taipei, electric utility Taipower was demolishing one of their old boiler buildings. Robert Han, the owner of the dashcam video where you can see the building as it goes down, was only one of many highway drivers who were shocked by the boom and doom of the building as demolition experts took it to the ground. All the vehicles on the highway screeched to a halt as the vibrations hit the highway, and a huge 60-meter high dust storm cloud envelops part of the road. Many of the drivers complained that the company should have checked weather predictions and wind conditions and close the highway if necessary. The dust storm blinded many drivers and could have caused serious injuries and traffic accidents. Taipower and the demolition company they hired to take down the old boiler building have been fined $31,000 for endangering the public. The demolition company has promised to improve their safety and check procedures for future demolitions.
In a spectacular bureaucratic cluster, a Fort Worth, Texas home was demolished on July the 12th. The wrong home. The 3-bedroom house had been in David Underwood's family for decades. The city hired contractors to raise a decrepit house at the 9700 block on Watercrest Drive. The thing is, the crew were given the wrong address, the one to a perfectly good vacant house next door. And so the machines went to work on Mr. Underwood's dead grandmother's house. A neighbor, aware of the scheduled demolition, saw machines tearing into the wrong house and tried to alert officials, but it was too late. The next day, Mr. Underwood and his wife went to check on the place they planned to fix up and retire in. But as they rounded the corner, explaining the snafu, city official Brandon Bennett said simply, "A mistake was made." Well, no Brandon. Underwood, to his credit, is pretty zen about it all.
I see so much around here that people that need help and have less that it's an accident, and let's just do what's right and move on.
House demolition reveals hundreds of bones buried within. A demolition team working on demolishing a house on the outskirts of Tokyo discovered hundreds of bones within the house. The police were contacted to investigate the strange collection. The owner of the house moved away years ago, and the dilapidated house has remained empty since. The house was scheduled for demolition on March 10th, and the bones were discovered by the demolition crew on the 23rd. The bones were collected and sent to be analyzed. After interviewing neighbors, police discovered that the former owner of the house used to keep pigs and monkeys as pets. Police suspect that the bone collection may be the final resting site of the man's dead pets.
Demolitions are pretty epic to watch, but don't forget, they're also dangerous. A safety perimeter of 1,000 feet was set up around the PG&E scheduled demolition of a closed steam power plant in Bakersfield. At around 6 a.m., many curious onlookers were already in place, ready for the exciting destruction of the facility. Little did they know they were setting themselves up for serious injury. Upon exploding, shards of metal and debris shot out every which way. Clearly, the safety perimeter wasn't set far enough, and exploding debris hit several onlookers. One man was struck in a leg by a piece of metal, resulting in doctors having to amputate the leg completely. Epic to watch, but for this man, probably not worth it.
City bulldozes half of a house after wife sells her share. Divorces often get messy, particularly when it comes to settling property and who gets what. But this is one of the more jaw-dropping stories ever. Luis Garado dos Santos, age 52, came home from work one day to find half of his house demolished after his ex-wife sold her share. The couple lived in what used to be a 4-bedroom apartment on the edge of the Olympic Park site for next year's Games in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Unfortunately, their home lies inside the planned Olympic Park and is one among many homes which have been marked for demolition. The government is offering compensation deals to homeowners, but the offers are way below market price. Although the two continue to live together, Luis and his ex-wife have been divorced for 10 years, which is why the government was forced to offer them separate compensation deals for the same house. Luis's wife decided to take the government's offer and sold her half of the house, assuming the government would wait until they were able to buy Luis out before demolishing the property. As you can tell, they thought wrong. Luis returned home one day to discover that the government had bulldozed exactly half of the house, the half his ex had been compensated for. The demolition also destroyed the water and electricity, so Luis, his daughter, and his grandson have gone days without a shower. Luis says he's incredibly disappointed and angry. He didn't want to move, but now he'll have to since he's only got half a house left. He was excited and proud of his city for winning the right to host the Olympics. Now he just hates the Olympics. Luis also points out, "It's not fair, but what can I do? There's one rule for the rich and another for the poor."
New York is going greener. New York State recently announced a plan to use recycled sections of the demolished Tappan Zee Bridge to build new artificial reefs off Long Island's North Shore. New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo announced Tuesday that 43,200 cubic yards of the old Tappan Zee Bridge will be dumped into coastal waters off of Long Island. In the first phase of the project, cleaned and recycled materials from the old bridge, steel pipe, and jetty rock will be submerged to build the artificial reefs. The artificial reefs will be expanded at 6 locations off of Long Island's North Shore. The artificial reefs will create an environment similar to a natural reef for finfish, shellfish, and seagrass to regrow. Governor Cuomo said the project is the largest expansion of artificial reefs in the state's history and will boost Long Island's recreational and sport fishing industries.